think at some point I even got depressed because of how much my pregnancy tormented me. My whole house was smelling to me. My wardrobe was smelling to me. My husband was smelling to me. Cars, they smell. Keke, they smell. Bike, everything, they smell. I don't want to perceive anybody. Ew. 9 months felt like 9 million years. Like, name any type of pregnancy symptoms that you think you know in this life. I experienced all of them. Hi guys. Hey, good afternoon guys. How are you guys doing? For those of you that see my face for the first time, my name is Guysssss. I have an adorable son. His name is Abayomi. Together with Ayomi and Mommy, the hashtag growing up with Yomi. So if this is the first time of you coming across my channel, you are welcome. You are welcome. Do not forget to hit the subscribe button down below, because I'm certain this is the channel you'd love to be on. Basically, I vlog about motherhood, lifestyle, stories of my life. Like this particular video I'm about to film now is a sit-down story. Of course, you guys can see already. Story of my pregnancy craving, and yeah, I also vlog about food. So I'm certain this is the channel you'd love to be on. So why don't you just hit the subscribe button down below and become a part of this family, okay? I'm so glad that you stopped by. And for those of you, my returning subscribers, please, if you're not yet subscribed to this channel, I wonder what you're even doing. Hit the subscribe button down below and become a part of this family too, okay? So let's just get right into this video, okay? This video is about, hold on, let me just go through it on my phone and tell you guys. My notepad, I wrote it down in my notepad. Which one should I think about this one? So this video is basically about my pregnancy symptoms, my cravings, the likes and dislikes, and yeah, basically everything about my pregnancy journey. That's what I'm going to be talking about, sharing with you guys in this video. I wrote down a few things because I mean, sometimes I may forget. Just like they say, once you put to bed, once you deliver, you'll forget everything about pregnancy. You forget the stress, the discomfort, everything you pass through. But I don't think, in my case, I don't think I can totally forget about everything, because I mean, it was a whole lot of discomfort, stress, and suffering, if I would use that word, permit me, because that's how it was in my case. So sometime I already posted a video. I already made a vlog of how I found out I was pregnant. So I'm going to be leaving the link to it in the description box below. So if you've not seen that video, please do not forget to check it out, so you just, I don't know, so that you just understand what how my pregnancy journey was, because I'm not going to be talking about how I got pregnant again. I'm not even going to touch anything about it. I'm just going to go solely to my pregnancy symptoms, my cravings, my likes and dislikes, and yeah, basically journey of my pregnancy. Yeah, after I got pregnant in August of 2020, I didn't have any serious symptoms at the very first stage of my pregnancy. Say from the first month till the I think I started having my severe pregnancy discomforts, cravings, and the rest from my month 3 of pregnancy. Yeah, my month 3 of pregnancy, that's when it hit me. That's when it struck me hard. Aside the normal morning sickness, evening sickness, I mean, this thing does not really have a particular time it comes. It can just come in anytime it likes. Aside that, guys, I was not really having any serious pregnancy symptoms at the beginning of my pregnancy until one morning, close to towards the end of my first trimester. One morning I woke up and I was like, what's happening to me? I couldn't stand, I couldn't do anything. The sickness just hit me hard, and I just started having these serious cravings for custard. Yes, it was custard. I couldn't eat any other thing apart from custard. And my mouth was so bitter. Everything I put into my mouth, I would vomit it almost immediately. See, now let me just, I don't want this video to be very scattered. I don't want it to be scattered, so I'll just go through it according to how I wrote it down in my phone. I wrote everything down in my phone just so I wouldn't forget it. Yeah, I wrote it, so I'll just be going through it for you guys to hear, basically. So the first thing I had was, the first thing that's on my phone, and which I had during my pregnancy, was feeling nauseous. morning sickness. See, that thing comes anytime. It might come in the morning, it might come in the afternoon, it might come in the evening, it might come at night. Like, it didn't have a particular time of coming, so I cannot really call this morning sickness because it just kept on coming anytime it felt like coming. Yeah, so feeling nauseous was one of it, and I felt nauseous till the very last minute when I delivered my baby. Yeah, that's how my case was. Another thing I had that I can never ever forget in this life was constant scatter. Guys, after that first period of enjoying my pregnancy, towards the end of my first trimester, it hit me hard. Like, till the very last, all of my symptoms that happened to me till the very last minute when I delivered my baby. Like, I had constant scatter. It was always full in my nose. My nose was up to this length. No joke. I'm going to look for a picture and put it on the screen for you guys to see. If I had known, I would have just measured my nose to I've just measured my nose to know what the size of my nose as at then when I was pregnant. See, guys, I had constant scatter. Like, I kept on blowing my nose at every minute. It was becoming annoying and irritating because in public, if I don't blow my nose, if I try to swallow the kata, that is stuck in my nose, wahala, feel like I want to vomit, feel like I should just see that feeling. I don't think I wish it for anybody. I don't know, like, I don't think I wish pregnancy for everyone, including my enemy. But you see, kata, that symptom, particular symptom, I hate it with passion. I don't want God to give me that kind of symptom in my second pregnancy, next pregnancy. See, guys, it was not funny. They said it was because of my first baby was a boy. Okay, I understand. Hopefully my next baby, a boy or a girl, I really do not know, but I just hope I don't have kata. It was not funny. Like, I'll be eating food, trying to eat food that I don't even eat because of vomiting, and as I'm eating the food, before I even finish it up to, maybe if I even take up to 2 spoons, my nose is already filled with kata. I'll now run out to go and blow my nose. I'll come back. Before I take the 3rd or 4th spoon, it's already filled. Like, it kept on pouring. I did not lack fluid in my nose. Like, I was wondering where it was coming from. Like, I was wondering how come my nose cannot just dry. Like, it was irritating to me because I couldn't swallow it. I couldn't do anything. Like, guys, it was tiring. Another thing I experienced during my pregnancy was constant headache. At the point, I felt like it was because, yeah, my pregnancy gave me BP, like pregnancy induced BP. So I thought at some point, it was the BP that was making me have constant headache. But I got to find out that constant headache was like one of the symptoms of pregnancy. That thing did not leave me. It kept on tormenting me. Constant, guys, mention, like, name any type of pregnancy symptoms that you think you know in this life. I experienced all of them. I don't know if it was because it was my first time being pregnant or it was because I was carrying a baby boy. I don't know, but every symptom of pregnancy, I for one felt them. Like, it was annoying. I was tired of pregnancy. I am not even exaggerating. I was tired and angry about being pregnant. I was lamenting. See, another thing I noticed about pregnancy is when you're pregnant, please speak positivity. Do not say anything negative, not even a tiny bit of it. I was very ignorant because I was angry, I was sad. I think at some point I even got depressed because of how much my pregnancy tormented me, that I started saying some bit of negative words, like, I wish I could just abort this baby, I wish the baby could just come out now, I wish, like, I was saying some negative things that my mom just kept on what's the word now, just kept on rejecting. She would reject it and then she would pray against it, and she would scream at me that I should stop saying negative, that babies are spirits, they hear everything you say, they know when you don't want to have them, they know when you're uncomfortable about them, stuff like that. She was even telling me that, oh, those little ones that used to get pregnant and carry to the last day, how do they used to do it, that how old am I that I'm feeling like I cannot carry my baby to the last day, that I'm so tired, I'm so, like, if she didn't carry me to the last day, would I have been here? You know, she was saying a lot of things that got me convinced. But guys, I was tormented. My pregnancy tormented me, no cap. Like, another thing I felt during my pregnancy, this is basically my pregnancy symptoms. Another thing that I felt during my pregnancy was food aversion. I hated a lot of things and smell. Guys, I hated pure water, I hated smoke, I hated perfumes, I hated food, I hated the smell of food. Like, I just hated basically every smell. My whole house was smelling to me, my wardrobe was smelling to me, my husband was smelling to me, my foods, like excuse me, the bathroom was smelling to me, especially the bathroom. I remember those times when I get into the bathroom to maybe brush my teeth or just have my bath. After I do anything that took me there into the bathroom, the race that I used to use that run out of the bathroom, hey, hey. You'll be wondering if something is chasing me from the bathroom. Like, I would just, sometimes I don't even used to finish brushing my teeth. I'll carry the remaining water and run outside and go and pour it from my mouth. Like, it was crazy. It was really crazy. There were times that my husband would be cooking food in the kitchen and I would be inside the room, far inside the room. I would perceive it. I would start screaming from inside that why is he doing this to me? Like, why does he hate me so much that he cannot just lock himself in the kitchen, close the doors tight so I wouldn't perceive anything? My husband was tired of me. If he wants to spray perfume, he will take the perfume and run straight to the parlor, far from me, spray his perfume. Then I don't even want, when he finish spraying, just stand there, don't come close, don't even allow the fumes to come close to where I am. Just stay there. I don't want to perceive anything, nothing. Then maybe you should just carry your clothes alongside with you, so when you finish spraying your perfume, you just wear your clothes and just leave the house, go get anywhere. I don't want to perceive anything. Guys, when I try to open, maybe I want to rub cream. At least I was tolerating cream. There's a particular soap I was tolerating. What's that soap now? I can't really remember now, but there was a particular soap I could tolerate the smell. So that was the only soap that I used. And if I catch anybody using that soap with me, wahala. I will scream because I feel like you shouldn't share it with me. I should be the only one using it because I don't ever want to run out of stock. You understand? So when I just open my wardrobe to maybe take, the only cream I could tolerate was Vaseline. So whenever I open my wardrobe to take my Vaseline and apply on my skin, the smell of the wardrobe will want to kill me. Like, I used to scream. Sometimes I asked my husband to help me bring out the Vaseline just so I would rub it. And I think along the line I started dropping the Vaseline next to my bed so that whenever I finish anything I'm doing, I'll just go to I will just to avoid anything that will make me go close to the wardrobe. I hated the wardrobe. Like, guys, toothpaste, like, it was just close up, as in that look, that red, the original close up. That's the only one I could tolerate. Every other one, Oral-B, I don't even want to use my eyes to sight the tube. Like, I don't even want to see it. Like, if I see Oral-B alone, it kills me. Like, I feel like, why do you have to use this close up close to me? Why do you even have to bring it next to me? You hate me. You must really hate me to bring this close up next to me. I hated pure water, especially the sachet. Like, I don't even want to see it. After drinking the water, throw it far away. I don't want to see. At the time, I was taking bottled water, and there was a particular one that I was taking, Nestle bottled water. That's the one I was taking at some point, and now I hated it. And I started taking another one. There's this particular bottled water that if I mistakenly try to take it always feels like they just went to the river to scoop the water. That was the taste that I had in my mouth. It was tasting like fish, so it was crazy. Water that I used to drink before I got pregnant, at some point it just started tasting like fish. It was crazy. So whenever I sight the bottle, I just scream. I don't want to see it. At some point, my body could only accept ever water, and that was what I used throughout till I finished my pregnancy. Ever bottle, ever water. Yeah. Another thing that I hated, food aversion, was Indomie. You dare not cook Indomie. I don't understand why I was even hating all those their packs. I hated their packs. Indomie, the smell. Gosh. The smell of Indomie during my pregnancy was crazy. I hated it with passion. You guys, I don't think I can even remember everything that I hated in my pregnancy right now, but I'll just try and state out the ones that I can remember. There were a lot. See, everything about pregnancy, every symptoms, everything that anybody can ever experience in life about pregnancy, I experienced it. It was crazy, guys. Another thing I hated was smoke. I hated going out because of smoke. So whenever I must go, if I must go out for something very important, I must never ever forget my face masks. Like, I don't wear that face mask to protect myself from any virus. Lies. I wear it to protect myself. I wore it then to protect myself from smells. Like, everywhere was smelling. The roads were smelling. Cars smell. Cars they smell. Keke they smell. Bike, everything they smell. I don't want to perceive anybody. Ew. Markets they boom. Like, everywhere was crazy to me. The only my whole house was smelling. There were times that I would just come out of my compound when I was still at home, like in my husband's house. I'll come out of the compound and sit in the compound with my neighbors, and I'll just be spitting and spitting and spitting and spitting. At the point, it was irritating and discomforting because I felt like I was making people uncomfortable. But I mean, they understood my state, and so they could tolerate it. I was doing it stylishly though, but it just kept on coming and coming. And sometimes I excused myself from the gathering and just go somewhere to spit and then come back. And when I'm being forced to go into my house to pick up something to use while I'm sitting outside, I just get crazy because I don't want to go into the house. It is smelling. I actually left the house to come out here because the house was choking me. So why do I have to go back into the house to get something? I would rather less that than just, I would rather stay like that than to. Remember those times when I'm so hungry and I want to eat the custard that I could only tolerate. When I run into the kitchen to make my custard, after making the custard, the race that I used to use and carry it outside there because of the smell of the kitchen and everywhere in the house. And once I reach outside, and if you make the custard thick for me, I won't drink it. So I have to make it very, very, very watery, and I just kept on drinking it like water. That was the only thing I could tolerate during my first trimester. At some point after my first trimester, I hated custard. Like after my husband already bought the very big size for me of Checkers custard, and I hated it. I was screaming at him to hide it, that I don't even want to see the container. This man was tired of me, but he understood. So he carried the custard as big as it was. I hadn't even opened it. I think, okay, I opened it and I ate from it just once, and after then I just hated it. So he hid it because he doesn't even eat custard. He hid it somewhere my eyes could never ever see until I gave birth. And that's how the case was for me. And after that time, let me check my phone. See, guys, I hated a lot of smell. Another thing that affected me during my pregnancy was excess vomiting. Up until my last day of pregnancy, I was vomiting. Like, guys, pregnancy tormented me. I vomited and vomited, and I did not pass that thing that they used to say, hey, don't worry, when you get to your second trimester, you will not enjoy and be eating anything. Lies. I did not enjoy anything. I vomited from the very last minute of my, the last period of my first trimester till throughout my last trimester, third trimester. I vomited till the very moment I gave birth to my child, and I still vomited after I had given birth to my child until 3 days after, when I stopped vomiting and spitting. It tormented me. No jokes. I don't know if I'm the only one that felt this way during pregnancy. I don't know if there are people out there that had these similar symptoms with me during pregnancy. My pregnancy was crazy. It was tormenting, guys. To be honest, it was really tormenting. I vomited to the extent that I couldn't hold down food. I couldn't hold down water. I was not eating. At some point, I just so I would have strength, because I really needed to feed my child. Whether I ate or not, he was feeding. He was sucking my blood. So my eyes kept on turning me because I couldn't eat anything. So the only way I could help myself, that my mom could also help me, was every morning. After that time, when my husband saw that, oh, I didn't even tell you guys about this part, my spitting part. Yes, I think it's alongside it. The spitting part, when I was still in my husband's house, before I traveled, before he had to tell me to, because whenever he goes to work, I was like the only one at home, so he wasn't comfortable, because he kept on, he would call me every minute just to check up on me, and he was sure not comfortable, so he had to send me back home to be with my mom. Just before he sent me back home, when I was still with him in his house, I would spit and spit. He had to create a container for me to be spitting inside. He just kept it close next to my bedside, because at some point I couldn't stand up from my bed anymore because I was always feeling sick. So whenever my mouth gets filled up with saliva, I'll just throw my neck and then spit it out into the container. I am not even exaggerating, guys. See, that container gets filled up before my husband gets back from work around 5, because of me. He tries to come back very early because he knew I was the only one at home. I am not exaggerating. It gets filled up. He will empty it, wash it, bring it back for me. Before daybreak, it gets filled up again with saliva, big container. Do you know, my husband had to ask me that, where is this saliva coming out from? Like, so I have so much saliva in my body like this. It was crazy, guys. I had to just pause one time, and I was also thinking about that. I saw reason in what he was saying. Like, to be honest, seriously, where all these spits they come out from? Like, That was the only way I could survive. If I mistakenly tried to swallow that saliva, you have killed me. Like, I was scattered everywhere with vomit. That was the only way I could survive. Oh, spacing it out. And even when I'm going out, I remember the something I'm going out, I had a little cute container that when I'm somewhere, I always try to go out with a big bag, at least something that can contain the container and my head. Because when I feel somehow and I need to spit, I just open my bag slowly, bend my face into it and just spit. Nobody knows what's going on, but some persons that know that I'm pregnant would know that this woman is spit, you know. Things like, at least I wasn't doing it everywhere, like you know. I was trying to make it look comforting and cute at the same time. I don't know if it was cute. When I go to my friend's shop, I'll spit. When I go to visit anybody, I'll spit. Inside the bank, I'll spit. Anywhere I spit. Inside my husband's compound, I spit. Like, it was crazy, guys. Please let me talk about the vomiting. Like, about the vomiting. When I'm eating like this, at some when my weight, it was now too much for my husband to tolerate, because I wasn't even eating at home and he wasn't always around to make me food to eat. He had to send me back home during that period when he knew that he couldn't take it anymore. Like, he wasn't sure of my safety anymore because he was hardly around work and all, so he had to tell me to go back home, and so at least I'll have my family to be there for me, and you know, basically. So I went back home, and when I got home, my mom made sure I was okay, but the food part was still something that he couldn't help me with because I couldn't still take down food. The only thing he did constantly was every morning he made sure he prepares this tiger nut drink for me to take every morning. She prepares it with malt and milk. Tiger nut drink, malt and milk. She mixes everything together and then she gives me to drink every morning. That's what she was doing, and because I couldn't eat any other thing. Another thing that she was giving me too was glucose water. She kept on giving me glucose water just for me to have strength, at least for myself, when my son finished sucking out all my strength and my blood. So she kept on giving me that for my own strength. And after that time, she wasn't really feeling it. She was like, I still need to eat, that I should try, that I should have crossed the stage where I should be able to hold down something, that I should just try and eat. I was like, okay, there's nothing my mom did not prepare for me in this life, just to try and make me eat, but I couldn't. So at some point I told myself, you know what, I need to eat, I need to survive, I need to have strength for my child to feed. If I don't feed, how will my child feed? You know, stuff like I had to talk to myself, and then and answer that, okay, that I will eat afang soup. Then she now brought the afang soup. She made sure she made it very nice, something very attractive, so that I wouldn't say no. When she brought the soup, before I could even swallow the 5th bowl of Gary, I vomited everything. My mom felt so bad for me. She had to call my sister. She's a doctor, a radiologist. So she called my sister and she asked my sister what's the best thing that we could do to help me, because honestly I'm not eating anything and it's not healthy for me. So my sister had to call her other doctors that specializes on pregnant women and all, and they told her about a drug that I could take that could help reduce the urge to vomit and all, you know. So they had to, after she told us about the drug, I still had to browse about it to be sure I was safe, no side effects, and also I was sure it was 100% safe. So they had to buy if you see the way they shattered that drug to me, they bought it for me, and before I eat I must take that drugs. After I finish eating that food, I'll take the drugs. Like, I was more or less surviving on drugs just to feed. Guys, no jokes, I was surviving on drugs. Then days where I just stubbornly say, I'm not going to take the drugs, let me just eat this food, nothing's going to happen, I'm not going to vomit. Inside my head, I'll drop a little bucket next to me as I'm eating the food. I don't know if it's because I used to see the bucket to vomit in. I really don't know, but as I'm eating the food, the next thing is I vomit everything into the bucket. And I wasn't the one cleaning it. My little cousins at home, they'll just come and help me clean up the stuff, clean up the mess. And at some point when I just finish eating like this and I don't take my drugs immediately, you just see me stylishly strolling to the toilet, because it's coming. I'll just be strolling stylishly to the toilet, and immediately I reach the toilet, it's that's what my mom will be shouting, but you have to go to the toilet, why don't you tell yourself that you will not vomit? I'll just look at her with teary eyes. but it's not easy. I am tired. That's when I'll now start saying negative things. Now I'm tired. Can't they just remove this baby? Can't the baby come out now already? Guys, my pregnancy tormented me. No jokes. So there are times that when my husband even visits us at home, like in my house in Oyo, when both of us are eating, I'll just run and leave him and go and vomit. He'll just be looking at me. He will just run and follow me to the toilet. He'll just be looking at me. He will not clean up the mess after. It was crazy, guys. See, I don't wish it for anybody. Another thing is, I became extremely emotional. Like, I always felt like crying. And I could relate to everything happening to anybody. I was just emotional for no just reason. Sometimes at night, I'll just wake up and say, you tormented me. So, sometimes at night, I'll just wake up and sit down. I'll just feel like crying. I'll call my elder sister, tell her that I feel like crying. What my elder sister told me those periods was, if you feel like crying, cry. Just cry it out. Maybe it's something that is tormenting you inside that is making you want to cry. Cry. There's no harm in crying, okay? I'll tell her, okay. Then when that urge comes, I'll just sit down and start crying. For no reason, I was just crying. I was extremely, excessively emotional. I could relate to anything, everything happening to anybody. Like, tell me your story that moment, I'll just be crying with you. I'll even cry more than you. I was just emotional. Another thing is, I was always tired and sad. I just wanted to be done with it. I already talked about, I touched this point at the point where I said my pregnancy was tormenting me, right? Like, I just wanted to be done. That's when I started saying negative things. I was always sad. At a point, I even thought I was depressed. Guys, I was sad. I was tired. I felt lonely, but I was not lonely. I just wanted to be done. 9 months felt like 9 million years. Like, every day I wake up, I was always counting down. I was always checking the calendar. I was always counting to be sure of when I'm going to deliver. Like, I was always thinking about my EDD, estimated date of delivery. Like, it was crazy, guys. I was just always done. Another thing that happened to me was skin discoloration. I became black, especially my neck region and my armpits. I was dark, guys. See this hair? This hair color was me. My neck was, don't worry, I'll look for a picture and I'll put it on the screen for you guys to see. I was black. I have never been that dark in my life. Pregnancy changed me totally. I was dark, guys. I was really very dark. I tried so many things just to help me glow, but it was not working. Everything was just, felt like my skin was rejecting a lot of things. So at some point, I just told myself, you know what, I'm done. Let me just give birth to this baby. Maybe that's when I'll use all this stuff. I just got stuff and left them at home until I delivered. That's when I'll use them. I was done with trying to use any skin organic care products. I was done. Another thing that happened to me was I fell in love with cold water, like mortuary standard cold water. Anything cold. You see, Coke must be very cold. In fact, ice block. Let me just be chopping the ice block. Everybody complained about that one. And they got tired of complaining, but me, I couldn't stop it. I would wake up in the middle of the night just to drink cold water. Like, I was drinking cold water. My husband was tired of me. But when he wakes up and sees me drinking cold water, he will collect it from my hand. And I will hate him that moment, because I always feel like he hates me for him to not want me to drink something that my body needs. You get, just let me do me. Just let me drink what my body wants. I was always having my bath. Like, every minute that they pour water for body, I can bathe more than 20 times in a day. No jokes, guys, because I was always feeling hot. My body was always hot. Like, if I had stayed with me for that moment, it's just to dive in and live inside there with my load. No jokes. Like, it was crazy. Another thing that happened to me was I was lazy, I was weak, and I was always sleeping. I was always just tired, very lazy, weak. Every minute I did sleep. It was crazy. I feel like that's like one of the symptoms that happens to every pregnant woman, sleeping, you know. And that was like towards my first trimester of first to my second trimester of pregnancy. The laziness and sleeping stuff, that's when it really hit me. Another thing that happened to me was I couldn't eat or put anything in my mouth without brushing immediately. I woke up in the morning, and that was so unusual. At some point I couldn't open my mouth to brush or even bring out my tongue without feeling like vomiting. I don't know if you guys get, like, I dare not try to eat anything when I wake up in the morning without brushing my mouth. Like me, that when I wake up, normally if I wake up in the morning, I can eat. If I don't have anything to do on that day or anywhere to go on that day, I can even eat throughout and then brush at night and then just call it a night and sleep, call it a day and sleep. When I was pregnant, I dare not try that rubbish. Like immediately I wake up like this, I dey enter toilet, they brush, and as I dey brush from toilet, because I hated the smell of toilet, I dey run out with wrist. Like if I mistakenly try to eat anything without vomiting, everywhere was scattered with vomit. Those periods, the only thing that could sustain my saliva a little bit was cola nuts, and is it cola nuts? Bitter cola and Tom Tom. I fell in love with bitter cola and Tom Tom. My husband bought them in bulk for me. Then Tom Tom, he bought them in packets for me. At some point, I just hated them. When I go back after my delivery, when I go back to Abuja after giving birth, like sometime 2021 October, towards October ending, I opened my bedside drawer and I saw a lot of bitter cola in it and Tom Tom, and I was screaming because I remember. It's just funny how my husband has not even touched that part of my bed. He doesn't even have anything to do with that part. He just left it like that for me. When I came back and saw it, it was crazy, guys. Like, during my third trimester, guys, another thing that hits me hard was feeling bloated. My whole face, poof, poof, my body, poof, poof, my stomach, poof. Like, it was crazy, guys. I was just feeling bloated. Another thing that kind of affected me was heartburn, like indigestion. It comes and it goes. When I try to eat stuff, and I don't even know how it happens, but somehow my chest just keeps on burning. Like it was crazy, guys. It's a feeling that I cannot really explain now, and it's a feeling that doesn't last. Like it comes and it goes, and it will make you so uncomfortable when it comes. Like I can't even explain it, but just know that heartburn, it really dealt with me. I had indigestion, so I feel like it was the indigestion that caused the heartburn. Guys, it was a feeling that was so uncomfortable. It was so uncomfortable and discouraging, to be honest. See, at some point, I remember I had BP in pregnancy. I told you guys already in the beginning of this video that I had pregnancy-induced BP, and because of this constant spitting, I was trying to help myself. I didn't know I was harming myself more. I would hide, I would sneak, pack salt, and be leaking. It was crazy, guys. That was the only thing that could hold me down. Honestly, that was the only thing that could try to hold the saliva. My mom was always screaming when she sees me doing that. Whenever they just notice that the house is quiet and they cannot find me, they'll just come looking for me stylishly and they will catch me licking salt. My mom will shout and talk. You see, grape, very bad for pregnant women. I was taking it because I just needed something to help me with the saliva. I was so uncomfortable, but I was hiding and taking it. It was crazy, guys. It was really crazy. I think that's all I can remember now about my pregnancy symptoms. In my first trimester, guys, I was craving water, but I still couldn't take it. Then I started craving custard. I told you guys already that I was craving water so badly. Like it was only water that I could take. Every minute I was drinking water. I must be mortuary cold. In fact, it has ice block. It's let me be chewing the ice block. Let me be chopping it. It gives me joy, and I'm sure it gives my baby joy because it was my baby that always pushes me to do this stuff. Not like it's something I can just stay. I can just stay and be taking as water. I don't understand. It was too cold for me to be taking. But at that period when I was pregnant, I could hold it down. But at some point, I just hated water and started taking custard. I told you guys already. That was the only thing I could hold down. At some point, I hated it and I started craving. After I hated the custard, I started craving cereals. Like the only cereals I could even take was fruit and fiber. Remember, I ate fruit and fiber. Like I ate it to the point that I asked myself if it was even healthy for a pregnant woman. Only for me to browse, and I saw that it was super healthy for pregnant women. So it just kept on going and going and going. I was just enjoying it. At some point, it became irritating. I hated fruit and fiber with passion, and after that period, I think that was what I managed with. That was the food I ate until I got to my third trimester, where I started craving afang soup. And that afang soup has to be very, very watery. Like, I don't want any meat inside. I don't even want to use my 2 eyes to see meat. I don't want to see meat. Anything cow. Ew! I don't want to see. I don't even want to. Oh, thinking about it now, maybe remembering everything. Talking about it now, remembering everything. I don't want to see chicken. All those people that roast, especially in Oyo, they do that a lot. They roast chicken on the road and sell. I hated seeing it with passion. Like, it felt like when I start seeing it from afar, like, I just wear glasses and just shift my eyes. Guys, it was crazy. So I just wanted my afang soup to be very watery. I don't want thick afang soup. If my mom makes afang soup, because she made it for family, she always makes it for family. So my own part, when I want to warm it, I put enough water inside, make sure it's very, very watery. Then my eba has to be very, very soft, like, and hot, very, very soft. That was the only way I could eat it. Any other way, I vomit immediately. It's either afang soup with watery eba or afang soup, watery afang soup with fufu. Either ways, that was the only thing. Those were the only things I could eat. Like I said, I hated pure water. The only thing I could hold down was bottled water, a particular brand called Nestle. After that, I hated Nestle, and I switched to ever bottled water, and that was what I used. That was the brand I used till I gave birth, and up until after I delivered, that was what I was still using. If you buy any other water that is not ever, I will swear for you and your future generation that you hate me in this life. That's why you bought me water that is not ever. You must be wicked, and you must be sent from your witch, your coven, to come and torment me. That was the only thing that kept on ringing in my, and I was always nagging. Guys, I can nag for Africa. Everything was crazy. I remember that period I was planning my wedding. I was just causing quarrels with my husband for no reason. Every little thing could trigger my anger. I scream at him at every little thing. I remember I was so angry about the ring that he got for me. Like, I told him I was not going to wear his ring. I was just crazy and angry about petty stuff, things that that could not even get anyone angry, could get me angry. Like, it was triggering my anger. I was just nagging for no reason. Some of them could understand, but some was just crazy about the nonsense and constant nagging, because it was quite irritating. Thinking about it now, I'm just laughing, because all of those things that made me nag were things that shouldn't have ordinarily made me nag. Like, guys, it was crazy. Another thing that I craved, if you can hear noises in the background, my neighbors. Another thing that I craved during my pregnancy, especially the third trimester, was constant sex. Like, my husband was far from me, so it was something I had to just manage myself to deal with. Whenever he comes around, I try for us to try and have it once in a while, at least, because I was craving it so badly. But sometimes we have it, sometimes we don't, and it was fine because I couldn't understand. And yeah, anyways, guys, I don't know, I think I've skipped a lot of things, or I think I've not mentioned a lot of things, because there were a lot of things that happened to me during pregnancy. But also, I think I've covered a lot of things. I just hope I've covered a lot of things. Honestly, this video is so long, but please, if you could just watch it to the end, okay, I would really appreciate it. Anyways, guys, I'll be ending this vlog here. I just hope you found this useful. If you're pregnant and you're watching this video, I don't know if I've said anything that is similar to the symptom you're feeling, or I don't know, or maybe my own is totally and entirely different from yours. That's fine, because no two pregnancy is the same, like they always say, and no two babies are the same. So I just hope I was able to at least make you guys understand a little bit about pregnancy. I don't know what I'm even saying, but anyways, that's all about my pregnancy symptoms. And yeah, in my next video, maybe not my next video, but in another video sometime soon, I'm going to be doing a video about my labor/delivery. And yeah, that's a lot of story, like a lot of juicy story that you really love to hear. I just hope I'll be able to share everything in a vlog, but if I don't, I might just be dividing the vlog to part 1, part 2, and maybe part 3, because it is long, and I don't think I want to miss out on anything, because everything is still evergreen in my head and fresh, yeah. So yeah, I'll be ending this vlog here, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Okay, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and give this video a smashing like if you found it useful, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Yes, set to post notifications so always get notified whenever I post a new video. Okay, see you guys in my next video. For now, bye bye.